My first interaction with fishing in video games was with Harvest Moon Back to Nature, and although it was very rudimental, it became a real interest of mine. I wanted to know how it felt, the calmness of just relaxing, waiting for a fish to bite. As a kid, I live in the boondocks, very far away from the city center, pretty much in contact with nature, so I was able to try out this newfound interest of mine. Sadly, the little lake that was closer to where I live had pretty much no fish to catch, and it was very dangerous to boot. So when me and my friends heard there was a fish and pay place relatively near us, we decided to go visit it. For folks who don't know what that is, in Portuguese it's called a pesqueiro, ou pesque pague. It's like a private fishing pond filled to the brim with fish, where you can go fishing for a small fee and can take your catches home for a small price. What I'm about to tell you right now will sound like a fisherman's tale, but I swear it's 100% true. We couldn't afford to bring the fish we caught home, since we were around 11 years old with no disposable income at the time.
Huh? It's okay, I don't have any money today anyway!
But we liked fishing and releasing them anyway, so we would go there on the weekends just to do that.
4 hours later.
One of these days, we fished for around 4 hours and we were about to go home for the day. But then my fishing rod, if you can even call it that, it was very DIY, caught something. And after struggling for a bit, I managed to put it out. And I couldn't believe my eyes. What I had caught was actually a fishing rod. And that fishing rod had a fish hooked on it. So we grabbed the fishing rod and reeled the fish in. It was so surreal, but I felt so cool doing that. The owner of the fishing rod, a guy that was looking at the lake with a worried face, minutes ago approached us. He told us that this was his fishing rod. He lost it some minutes ago and was super worried because it seems to be a very expensive fishing rod. I gave it back, of course, and he was so thankful to us that he actually paid for the fish that was caught with his fishing rod so we could bring it home. My mom prepared that fish for me and my friends, and let me tell you, it probably was the sense of pride, but I never tasted a better fish to this day. But why am I telling you all that? Because my love for games made me love fishing, and my love for fishing made me seek fishing games, so it went full circle. But I'm not here to talk about fishing games. I want to talk about the act of fishing on games that aren't fishing focused. And how much I love it when I can simply waste my time fishing away on a video game which by itself it's already a waste of time according to our parents. And what better game to start than the one that started it all for me, Harvest Moon Back to Nature. And unfortunately, there's not much to say. Fishing here is very bare bones, and even the act of fishing could be completely missed entirely by the player, since you need to visit the docks early in the morning of a sunny weekend to find the fisherman in order to get the rod. Fishing here is a very simple minigame. You equip the rod, go near a body of water, and hold square. As soon as your character reacts to a fish, you release the button to hook and reel the fish in automatically. Like I said, really simple. So simple in fact that there are only 3 types of fish in the game, a small one, a medium one, and a large one. And although there's a few rare fish that you can catch in certain circumstances, they're more like a trophy for completionists than anything else. Future Harvest Moon games sometimes spend on fishing, sometimes they play it safe, but for me, the one that did fishing justice was Wind of Endless. It's one of the more recent Harvest Moon games released by Natsume. And yeah, I know that Bokujo Monogatari, the original series, is now known as the Story of Season. I also play those games, but I also like the ones made by Natsume, as janky as they can be sometimes. In Winds of Antos, fishing is actually a minigame now, where you need to reel only when the fishing isn't struggling, and when it is, you have to pull the rod in the opposite direction of where it's swimming. Failing to do that could actually deplete your stamina bar and lose the fish altogether. It's easy to understand, fun to do, and the best thing is, the fishes are actually worth a lot of money. So, in this farming game, you can actually do the bare minimum of farming and live your life as a pro fisherman, so it gets a thumbs up for that. Talking about Harvest Moon, there's a game that was incredibly inspired by it, but sold so well that a lot of people actually think they're the creator of the cozy farming game genre, Stardew Valley. I like this game, not as much as the Harvest Moon games though, please don't hit me. And one of the reasons why I like it a lot, you guessed it, fishing. The fishing minigame in Stardew Valley is amazing, one of the best in gaming really. It's a bit more complex than the usual fishing casual games, but it's very rewarding. You can use different bait, floaters, and even fishing rods, so there's some customization. The fish you catch are very diverse, and they sell for a lot of money as well. So just like Wind of Antos, you can pretty much make a living out of fishing in this game, and I approve. Going back a bit now, I need to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, Ocarina of Time. And going by the title of the video, people who play this game know exactly what I'm talking about. In Lake Hylia, there's a fishery, very similar to the one I had in my hometown, curiously. And in there, you can pay to fish at your leisure. And it's actually worth your while, as you can get a heart piece if the fish you catch is big enough. There's actually some variety of fish in here, both in size and species. There's some rare ones if you're lucky enough, or use the forbidden lure. The minigame in here isn't as complex as other games we'll talk about in this video, but it's very fun nonetheless. And it's a great introduction for gamers to the concept of fishing, and I bet it has converted a bunch of people into fishers throughout the year. Also, you can fish the cashier's hatch. Neat! Another game that has fishing on it and is actually important to the main plot is Digimon World for the PS1. The fishing minigame here is one of my favorites. You cast your bait into the lake, bait that you actually collected throughout your adventure by the way, which is always a plus. And if you aim as near the fish shadows, they will eventually bite. And the way it works is a bit similar to Wind of Antos that I showed before. You should only reel the fish in when it's not struggling with the line, otherwise you might end up breaking it. Do it enough times and you win the war of attrition. And if you're good enough, even some of the mightier fish can be caught with the regular fishing rod. A fishing rod so bad that you actually found it in the trash. And one of the reasons why I love fishing in Digimon World is that the fish you get are actually useful. You can feed your Digimon with them.
Looking too skinny, CJ. I wanna get us something to eat.
Pay Penguinmon to be able to play the curling minigame, extend the life of your Digimon, and even progress the story eventually when you fish a Seadramon that will ferry us across the lake. Fishing in this game is so integral to the experience, and that's probably why they made sure to make it a fun minigame for the player to enjoy. Too bad they actually gutted fishing in Digimon World's Next Order. No fun minigame here. Just make your Digimon hit the blue prompt and that's it. Such a shame, especially because Next Order is superior to the original Digimon World in most aspects, but fishing isn't one of them. But enough about simplified fishing minigames. Let's talk about realistic fishing minigames now. And there's some games that go above and beyond on their fishing minigames, to the point that if the fishing minigame was sold separately as a different game, I bet they would do numbers. Case in point, Final Fantasy XV. I bet this was the game that popped in the head of a lot of people when they saw the title, as the fishing minigame of Final Fantasy XV goes crazy. It has such complexity that it actually goes deeper than most fishing games I've played, with many different lures that actually makes a big difference in the kind of fish you wanna catch, different lines, fishing rods, fishing spots, etc. It's very in-depth and was clearly made by devs that actually enjoy fishing, because let's agree that they did not need to go that hard, but I'm thankful that they did. And the fish that you catch are actually eaten by your party after they are cooked in the camp, which is terrific, especially considering how beautiful the food in this game looks. I mean, look at it, it's stunning. And it's not just the cooking that looks great, this game is a showcase of graphics in general. It might be the best looking fishing in video games period. That is what I would say if Red Dead Redemption 2 did not exist. My god, this game is beautiful. That's one thing that no one can deny. It's incredibly realistic. Sometimes to its own detriment, I must say. I mean, do we really need to see our character do every animation in the game slowly and methodically? Can't we gamify it just a little bit? No? Okay, go ahead. Slowly skin that bear. I'll just wait right here. But anyways, the reason why I mentioned Red Dead 2 is because, you guessed it, fishing! Not only this game has one of the most realistic fishing in games as a side activity, it was actually one of the best money making methods in the early days of Red Dead Online. I can't count how many hours I must have spent fishing in this game. I must have fished in pretty much every body of water in the game that had fish to catch. It was almost therapeutic. Knowing that I would actually sell those fish later for a nice sum of cash didn't hurt either. It was such a good money making method that the docks near Blackwater were always swarming with players, willing to disturb your peaceful fishing with some hooch-tooching cowboy shooting. And that's why I always avoided the crowded areas. The reason why I'm fishing is because I want some peace in my life, man. I don't have time for some PvP with some 12 years old mouth breeder. Leave me alone, man. I don't need to prove that I'm the badass outlaw in the West. I'm already feared by fish, and that's worth more than any bounty to me. One of the most interesting aspects of fishing in this game is the control scheme. Sure, you could opt out for a simplified one, but the regular one wants you to hold the controller like a fishing rod, reeling in by rotating the analog stick, and that's cute, I like it. And there's plenty more games to talk about when it comes to fishing, but we'll stop for now. If you guys want to see more, let me know and I might do a part 2 of this video, maybe even showcase some of your favorites. Which games do you guys like that have a fishing minigame that stuck with you? Let me know in the comments and be sure that I will check it out. And as always, if you like the video, be sure to hit like and consider subscribing, because I intend to be doing many more videos like this one in the future. But that's it for now, bye bye!